Hello and welcome to this episode of Kajabi in 5 minutes. Today, I'm going to diverge a little bit from what I typically do, which is strictly speaking about Kajabi. And I'm going to share a little bit about some of the tools that I use alongside Kajabi and the things that I find useful. So first of all, Google Search Console. That's what it's called. Google Search Console is a free tool that anyone can use if they have a website, and it's pretty easy to log into and to get set up. It is managed by Google, and what this does is it lets you see what type of organic search traffic your website is getting. It can take a little bit to get used to the navigation and the user interface just to kind of see what can be seen. It's a lot easier to use than Google Analytics. And it doesn't really give you analytics, but it gives you like Google Analytics does. But it is just organic search traffic. One thing that's really cool that I love about it is you're able to see all of your pages. And if you find a page, you can see what queries or what searches people are coming to your site from. And this can be a great tool to give you an idea as to what type of an organic traffic magnet your content is, what searches are leading people to your site. And it's just a great tool to have to know and use. I don't log into Google Search Console every week, but when I do, it gives me some useful information and it's free. So there's one. Yes, I do use Google Analytics since we're talking about that, although I find it pretty complicated. But I use Google Analytics if I'm curious about how much overall traffic I've got. And so the difference between Google Analytics and Google Search Console, just scratching the surface of what the difference is Search Console giving you organic search traffic. Google Analytics will give you all of your traffic, direct clicks, search, referrals, all that kind of stuff. So the calendar tool that I use is cal.com. And I like cal.com because their free plan is really robust and quite powerful and does a great job. I used to use Calendly and it was awesome. And, I'm typically one not to kind of fuss over price, but I realized, sure, it's only $12 a month, but why pay $12 a month when you don't have to? And so I moved from Calendly to cal.com. And it functions perfectly. It does everything that I need and it's free and it's very easy user interface to work with. So if you're looking for a calendar tool and you don't want to, pay 10 or $12 a month for something like Calendly, I recommend cal.com. I'm not affiliated with them, but they do a great job and that's the tool that I use. For video conferencing, I used to use Zoom. And then again, I realized why pay, sure, $12 a month isn't that much, but why pay for it when you don't need to? And so I stopped using Zoom. I'm a Google Workspace user for managing my business infrastructure, I guess. And so I just started using Google Meets and it works really well for the video needs that I have. A video tool that I do love, that I do pay for is Loom. And Loom is a great tool for video messaging, sending little video messages to people. Their AI integration is pretty good at making it really easy to use. And it's just really easy. I love Loom for screen sharing when I'm going through, some work that I've done for a client and scrolling through the page, sharing the screen, talking about it. It's great for just sending messages that I don't feel like typing out in emails. And there is a monthly fee, but it's a great product and it's got a good user interface. It works. They've got a great Chrome extension. And so Loom is a great tool for that. I use Descript. Descript is how I record the podcast and it does a great job at that. It's actually one of the more expensive things that I have, but it just does a great job. It makes it really easy to edit the podcast. And so that's why I use it. And their AI integration is also pretty great. That's about it. It really doesn't take too many things. Kajabi has so many of the needs covered that, just getting the little bits and pieces of the other things to fill in what you need based off your niche use cases and whatnot is, it's pretty good. But anyways, I just wanted to share those because I've talked to a bunch of people and sometimes, they are starting in a place where they don't want to spend very much money. So it's nice to know that you've got some free options there. Cal.com for your calendar, Google Meets for that. A Search Console is a great tool to get insight into your page. And actually, on that note, I just recently came across MS Clarity, which I haven't started using yet, but I'm excited to because it is kind of like a heat map for your page, kind of like I think it's Hotjar is what they're called. Anyways, where you kind of see what someone does when they come to your page, except it is free. MS Clarity, Microsoft Clarity is free to use. And so that's going to be kind of neat to start seeing like what people actually do on my pages without having to pay a bunch for that. And actually, there's one more. If you are interested in more SEO related stuff, if you go to Ahrefs website, as a website owner, you can sign up for their webmaster account, which is a very limited version of their total product offering, but it's free, which is great because, Ahrefs and SEMrush and those types of things are super expensive. So the webmaster account, I found it at the very, very bottom of the page in their footer links. But you probably can just Google Ahrefs webmaster account and you log in, and then you get a lot more detail than Google Search Console gives you about your keywords. You can see what kind of backlinks you have. You can see estimated traffic from keywords. You can do a lot of cool stuff strictly for your site. And that's a great tool to use also if you're interested in that kind of stuff. For AI, I use Gemini again because I am a Google Workspace user, and the Gemini account is included with that. Sometimes I use ChatGPT as well, and I like Midjourney for generating images. Although I find it, while it makes amazing things, it's also I haven't figured out how to make what I want, but it is fun to do play around, have it make things for me. Anyways. So those are the things that I use in my business. And I just wanted to share that in case someone out there is looking for some, low-cost alternatives for a calendar or a way to get, that SEO type information or things like that. So have a great week, and I will be back next week with some more Kajabi stuff.